Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a day in my life. Trying a bit of a different format today, just because I feel like it gives a more realistic perception of what my day is. I don't know, trying it out. As per usual, starting my day off with coffee. Finn was the first one up this morning, which is pretty typical, and I'm really enjoying it because he's the one who gets me out of bed, but I still get a little bit of peace before both the boys are awake. Rook's been waking up at sometimes 8 o'clock because he's been going to bed at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Not because I am choosing that for him, but because he's choosing it for himself. Anyways, so it's nice that I get a little moment to sit and drink my tea because Finn will just crawl around and play and do whatever. It's not too much of an ordeal. This time also gives me the opportunity to plan out my day. Specifically, this was a Monday, which is when I try and do an overview of the whole week. I have my planner from Golden Coil, which I love because it combines all my work scheduling and my life scheduling. So I'll write down, all the tasks I need to do, all the appointments for the week. I also like to include the temperature for each day for the week because it's gardening season and it applies to what I'm planning. And like I said, it's nice to just have the one kid awake right now so I can sit down and get all my thoughts down before the real chaos begins. Once Rook was up, I started on breakfast. I'm still trying to figure out more breakfast options that are easy. I don't have it down, but this morning I'm doing hard-boiled eggs and a bunch of random stuff from the fridge. I also have been prioritizing getting changed in the morning, and I know everyone talks about this, if you get dressed for the day, you'll feel a lot better about yourself, and I've been doing that, but specifically, I've really been doing a lot of self-reflection on my clothes because I'm postpartum and I think I'm done having kids. I'm relearning what I like to wear and buying new clothing items. I've been doing a lot more thrifting lately, trying to find what my style is, but also specifically trying to figure out where I stand with femininity, which might be a video in the future after I hopefully figure it out, because I've been so just not in, you could say, not in my feminine era. And I'm wondering if that's because that's truly how I feel about myself and who I am, or if that is come from fears of feminine things, if that doesn't make much sense. But either way, I've been trying out dressing more feminine and really enjoying it. This day in particular, I am just wearing Lulu pants and a crop top, very sporty. So not a great example of it, but I have been wearing dresses lately. Can you believe it? So yeah, that's been a big thing. And even this outfit being quite sporty, it still feels a lot better wearing something intentionally versus just being in my sweats all day. I'm also getting my breakfast ready. I think I've mentioned this before. I'm kind of going between two breakfast options these days. One of them being yogurt and granola. The other is toast with butter and honey. Very simple breakfast because I'm not a breakfast person and I just need to eat something. I do like to sit down with the boys to eat breakfast because I can. I usually don't eat lunch with them because that's a hectic time of day, but breakfast I like to sit with them to make it feel like intentional family time. And then you're not going to believe this, but I am about to put an apron on, which I feel like such a hypocrite because I just put out a video talking about how I'm not an apron mom. But I, realized that they're pretty practical. So with me trying to figure out my style and buying new clothes and wanting to wear the clothes at home instead of just saving them for going out, I realized I should really get an apron so that I can wear the clothes, the nice clothes, and not get them dirty as I'm cleaning. So, it was very much a practical decision. I will admit it does also make me feel like that cute housewife, 50s vibes. So that's fun. But yeah, it's just funny that I just put out a video talking about how I am not an apron mom and now I have an apron. So after breakfast is when I get any cleaning done that I need to. I try and reset the house at night, get everything cleaned, but sometimes that's not practical if, I'm prioritizing spending time with Josh instead of cleaning. So like I said, now's the time we clean up from breakfast, get any other cleaning done, and the boys will play together, which this is such a fun stage of them building forts together, chasing each other around. They are obsessed with each other and I just love seeing it. All my worries of how hectic life will be with 2 kids have melted away at this point because I'm just so grateful to have these 2 boys. I've also been really into drinks lately. You know, I have my coffee in the morning, but I usually feel like having something more than that, and it's not just like a caffeine thing. I just want a hot drink to be sipping on. So today I'm specifically making some Dandy Blend, and Rook came over and asked to have some as well, which it's just dandelion root tea. So he loves having what he calls his brown tea, and it gives me that cozy feeling of having a coffee without all the caffeine. Then, as per usual, Finn will go down for his nap at around 9 o'clock, and that's when I get either my one-on-one time with Rook or set him up with the TV so I can get some work done, which is what I'm doing right now. Rook is watching a show, and I'm recording this for you. You're welcome. Anyways, so on this day, while Finn was sleeping, we went to play in the backyard, which is pretty much what we always do when Finn is sleeping and I'm not working, like I said. So I thought I'd give you a little garden tour, or backyard tour, I should say. So those are the 2 veggie gardens. One of them, the one on the left, is mine, you guys know, and the other one is Dan and Maggie's downstairs. I also just have these planter boxes on the balcony, which give me so much life seeing those flowers out the window. These are the new stairs the boys put in, moved them against the house, not that you know anything otherwise. That's our hot tub, which is functional but doesn't have any siding on it. It's going to be going right here in this dirt pit. Dirt pile? Dirt pit? Anyways, and then I put in this little ornamental garden, which will look more complete once the hot tub's in place. We put some pavers in. The under the deck is gonna get refinished with pavers too. And then, yeah, we got my broccoli coming up, the cabbages, the cabbage moth larva, what are they called? The bugs have been eating those, so that's great. The peas are going wild. They're so tall, and I'm hoping I don't need to add any more supports because that seems complicated, but they're doing great. I got some little cucumbers on the way, which is so fun and so exciting, showing Rook where cucumbers come from. One little tomato also growing, and then I don't know if I mentioned, I don't think I did. I added some pepper plants in my carrot garden just because I had empty space, so didn't want to waste that. Those are the beets. Yeah, Rook is once again obsessed with picking the peas. Last year he loved them, so I made sure to put a lot of peas in the ground this year. And we have 2 blueberry bushes there and some potatoes in the corner. Again, this is Dan and Maggie's garden bed. And then down in this ditch, I shouldn't say Maggie turned it into like a mud kitchen for the kids. So fun. I'll show you more of that in a second, but I also put some more tomatoes over here just because I had the space and I wanted more tomatoes. This is, of course, the cut flower garden, which is thriving. I love having this garden. It's been such a good time. So here's the mud kitchen. This ditch when we moved in was such a annoyance of like, what a waste of space. But now it's like a yes zone for the kids. We've made it relatively safe for them and they can do whatever they want down there and not get in trouble, which is really nice for both them and us that, everyone has their space. Here's my first flower from the cut flower garden, a white Cosmo. And these are my sweet peas. Now moving on, this is what I actually do when we're out in the garden. I will play with Rook a bit, but I also just get very caught up in puttering, doing little tasks like pulling various weeds. We do have bindweed and horsetail in our area, specifically in our yard, I should say. So those are pretty aggressive, invasive weeds. So I put a lot of effort into always pulling them when I see them because there's not a lot of other ways to deal with it besides herbicides, which I don't want to use. Those are some of the peas up close I decided to take a shot of, I guess. Oh, this is chamomile. I'm so excited. Josh loves his tea, and so I wanted to grow him some chamomile, and they're starting to bud. And then I had this fig tree that my mom propagated for me, and it was outgrowing its container, so I figured I'd put it in the ground. We don't really have a spot for it. Like, we're gonna be eventually renovating this ditch, but in the meantime I'm just gonna put the tree in the ground. We can move the tree later when we need to, but I don't want it to die in its spot. Anyways, so that was a fun little thing I got to do with Rook. He loves helping me in the garden, and I absolutely love having him help me. It's so cute. When Rook was younger, he was very scared of water. I put him in swim lessons and it was not going very well. I'm not going to put him in lessons for maybe another couple years because he's pretty traumatized from it. But since then, we've been working on water with him and he's gotten a lot more comfortable with it. He actually enjoys running through the sprinkler now, which is huge. Very wholesome. I do a lot of hand watering while I'm out here as well, which I really like. Like, I could set up more soaker hoses, but I do enjoy the task of watering. It just gets you more involved in the garden, you know? These are my pincushion flowers. I'm deadheading them because it will supposedly make the blooms last longer, like they'll keep putting out flowers. And then finally I'm forcing myself to sit down because I could just putter for hours, which is nice. I, again, do enjoy it, but I do also feel like I need to take a moment and take in the garden that I work so hard on. So after this, I went to the thrift store. I didn't get any footage of me actually going there, but I took some footage of all the items I didn't buy, but enjoyed viewing. You know, some of them were just too feminine or not my style. This one I really liked, but was too small. This tea set, so cute, but like, what am I gonna do with all that? I don't have the space for that. And like, when would I use it? Also, the little teacups, adorable. I'm looking for more little containers for like when you're serving something that has lots of parts to it, like taco night kind of thing. And I liked some of these. I feel like I should have bought this one. But anyways, I liked some of them. I didn't love anything, so left it all behind. This olive, what do you call that? Container, so cute, but when am I serving olives? This bowl I thought Josh might like for baking, but he already has bowls, so I left it behind. And then came back home. I also just grabbed some A&W for lunch for us because it was already like 12:30 and Rook needed to go to bed. So set that up, and then I don't remember what I gave Finn. After Rook went into his room for quiet time, I gave Finn probably a banana or something. These are the items that I did buy. This flowy white shirt, everything was like $5. This was from H&M, I think. Very cute and feminine, but still feels like me. This dress is by Wilford, I think. And I did try it on top of my clothes. I now feel like it looks like a nightgown, but maybe I'll figure out a way to wear it and feel cute and not like I'm about to go to sleep. So we'll see. And then I grabbed these pants and didn't try them on, but I was like, oh, people are wearing business pants nowadays and they look super cute in them. And they fit me perfectly. I think it's so fun and so comfortable. So love that. Now both the boys are in bed. I mentioned before that I overlap their naps so I get some downtime. And look at me, I'm gonna do a bunch of cooking for you. Can you believe it? I still don't like cooking, but I'm prioritizing food in the house. So specifically what I'm about to make is granola because, like I said, I've been eating a lot of yogurt and granola, and I am pretty picky with the granola that I buy. There's certain ingredients I don't want to be eating, so I have to go to like a health food store to buy it, and it's so expensive. So I figured, why not try and make it myself? Probably will be worth it in the end. So I'm not gonna share the recipe because it did come out not great. It's fine, I'm eating it and it's okay, but it got me to cook it too long, so it got a little bit burny. Not burnt, but a little bit too crisp, you know? And it also told me to put all the dried fruit in the pan before I put it in the oven, which is a bad idea because all the fruit shouldn't cook, you know? You should add your fruit after. But besides that, it turned out great. You just put everything in a pan and cook it. So that's my kind of recipe. Next up, I'm doing more cooking. This is a day from my nightmares, but so I had softball tonight and Josh and the kids were joining me, which doesn't usually happen. Usually I go alone. And I wanted to bring dinner for them because Josh is just coming off work to care for the kids and I want them to have something to eat. So anyways, I'm making sushi bowls, which probably wasn't the best choice for a meal to eat at the ballpark, but whatever. That's just what I had scheduled for the week when I wasn't thinking about what I was actually doing during this evening. I'm also not going to really share what I'm doing here because I'm just cooking salmon and cooking all the other ingredients and putting it together. which I guess is how you make anything. But the flavors on mostly everything is pretty simple because I'm making a teriyaki sauce which goes over it all, so it doesn't really matter what each, I think anyways, doesn't really matter what each individual thing tastes like because it will all taste like teriyaki. The things I include in our sushi bowls are this like cabbage and carrot vinegar thing. I fry up some edamame. I have those individual like seaweed packets. Put those in the bag. What else? Salmon, obviously, teriyaki sauce, which I'm making from scratch because I prefer that over the store-bought stuff, despite how much I, again, don't like the process. I like the end result. And then I just got some little mangoes and some avocado. It's a fairly straightforward thing to make and very delicious, you know? And then Finn woke up, and so I had to take a break from filming because he was very needy and I was running out of time. So this is me rushing to get everything packed up before leaving the house, and that's the end of the footage. I wish I had filmed like the ballpark or something, but I honestly forgot about it. And so this is what you get today. Hopefully I'll do a better job next time I do one of these new styles of day in the life. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this day with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.